Hi everyone, I am going to share with you today a story and really a journey of soul to soul connection with my dad from beyond space and time. About 12 hours before my dad physically passed away on November 1st of 2020, I was lying next to him. The hospice bed was in the living room and I was in the recliner next to him holding his hand. And I was just having a moment of immense pain because, he had already had his last conscious moments. I knew I was never going to hear his voice again. I knew my son, now at that time at 4 years old, would never interact with him again. I was thinking about the past and things left in our relationship a little bit left unsaid and undone, although we knew we loved each other very much. And I think to sort of escape that immense pain, I just became fully present and focused on unconditional love, allowing me to let my mind let go of all those other things that I was thinking. And in that moment of full presence and unconditional love, while holding his hand in that moment of presence, I suddenly saw swirls of purple sort of swirling in my mind's vision while my eyes were closed. And then I felt a warmth slowly go from my head to my toes. And I remember thinking, oh, the sun must just be coming in the window and sort of playing tricks on me. I didn't really think that much of it. But then, with full clarity, I felt a whoosh, like energy, wind, but not wind because it's internal. I felt this energy come in my back, and it paused and then slowly did circles around the center of my chest is what that felt like, but again on the inside of my body is what that felt like. Words like energy and heart center are words that I never used before. I followed this feeling as it did these circles and then went to my shoulder where it paused. And the experience was so new, I had no time to judge it. I couldn't think about what it was, decide it was real, decide it wasn't real. It was so fascinatingly new that all I could do was just be with the moment. And I followed this feeling as it went from my shoulder, down my arm, into my hand, which was holding my dad's hand. And then I just knew. I knew with total certainty, like how we know the sky is blue. I just knew it in the depth of me, that feeling, that energy went into my dad too. And I gave him a big hug and I said, I knew he couldn't hear me, not physically. And I said, Dad, I don't know what that was, but I know you felt it too. You take all that love and light in your core with you, and you take that with you as you go. And hours later, my dad did take his last breath in the middle of the night with me holding his hand. And ironically, it was actually a night of daylight savings time change. So he passed physically while we were in that moment of being absent of time, unsure of what time it is. I find that so interesting looking back now. With that feeling, I just knew we were eternally bonded. I didn't know what that meant. I had no context for what that could mean. I just knew it. We're eternally bonded. And I also had such an immense peace. It's not that I was happy or, not sad that my dad was passing and did pass, but I was at so much peace because somehow in the depth of me, I just knew we were eternally bonded. But my dad and I's connection didn't end there. To my great surprise, he continued to try to share with me and help me understand that he was still here. And it really began as a breadcrumb journey of growing in belief that we are always connected to our loved ones and their love is always here. A few hours after he passed away, I went to a park where I like to walk, and at first I just sat in my car and finally just really let the tears go. It wasn't even so much as grief as it was just mental exhaustion from the entire week of being with him 24/7. through a time of passing, which is, a very heavy emotional load. And as I was there crying, I heard my dad's actual voice in my mind. And he said, "Get out of the car, Amby. You've cried enough tears over me in your life." I had cried enough tears over my dad in my life. But where had that voice come from? And I really just, somehow I'm making this up. How else would this be? I definitely made that assumption. I'm making it up. But I got out of the car and I started walking. And as I was walking, I said just to myself, "Gee, Dad, I hope you're all right." And instantaneously, without hesitation, I heard back again in his actual voice in my mind, "I'm just fine, Amby. I'm going to stick around here a while and help some people. And I'm happy about it." And with that, I stopped walking. Because in that moment, I had this knowing. I have to be making this up, but I wouldn't have said that. I, as Amber, would have said, "Heaven's so beautiful. I'm with my dog Thunder. I'm with my parents. You're gonna get to see everybody again one day. I love you so much." That's what I would have said as Amber. I never would have said, "I'm gonna stick around here a while and help some people, and I'm happy about it." And my next thought was, who would he be helping? I didn't even have the awareness that it might be me. That over the next year, my dad, through these beautiful experiences that in some way are available to all of us at varying levels of degree based on our personal path, our purpose, but all of us can experience these moments of transcendence and love with our loved ones. And I was about to enter on a journey with him of continued communication and him guiding me to a greater reality, guiding me to understanding not only who I am and as a soul beyond just the story of me, the appearances, the thoughts, the beliefs, the personality. We're so much more than that. And what a beautiful opportunity he was giving me to get to know my soul self. And so this story that I've shared with you today is just this snippet of our journey. I share a lot of our journey together. When I eventually had the courage to create a social media page to share this journey, with the purpose being sharing love, because that's what this is. It's love. All of us are already divine, already whole, and already worthy. And my dad helped teach me that. Thank you so much for listening. And if you'd like to learn more about my story with my dad, you can find that at Nature's Way Open. Thank you so much.